What's going on, Camcast? Welcome to my Instagram. This is going to be IGTV. I'm going to do one of my first, actually, it is my first official Instagram video today. We're going to be doing a quick ranking of all 11 of the current Star Wars films. Since today is May the 4th, may the 4th be with you. A couple spoilers, not spoilers, but some info here. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a pretty casual Star Wars fan. I'm not into Star Wars as much as I am, my Marvel or even Harry Potter or Fast and the Furious, for that. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to give my list of the 11 films and where they stack up in terms of my order. This includes the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the sequel trilogy, which are the last three movies, as well as Rogue One and Solo: A Star Wars Story. So I'm going to be doing all 11 films. I'm going to give you my ranking, and that's pretty much it. I thought it'd be fun to kind of do something a little bit different on the Camcast, maybe get a little bit more interaction. All right, without further ado, here we go. Number 11, I have The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi it's a crap movie. It's horrible. Rian Johnson was the most selfish director in the history of man, besides the two DB and David Benioff that did the last season of the Game of Thrones. The Last Jedi is forgettable. It goes against everything that is Star Wars. I actually at some point might do a dog shit movie on The Last Jedi because it's so bad. That one's it's tough. It's those of you that know me know I don't like it at all. Number 10, Solo: A Star Wars Story. Okay, I really like the guy that they got to play Han Solo. I thought he was pretty good. It's as good as you could have gotten. I like Childish Gambino as a young Lando Calrissian. I just thought the story was pretty boring. They were going from one aspect to the other, and I don't like how Han Solo got his name. I thought it was pretty campy, and so yeah, that's my number 10. Number 9, Rise of Skywalker. Okay, this is from the sequel trilogy again. So two of the three worst movies are from the sequel trilogy. So you can kind of see how I feel about that trilogy. Rise of Skywalker is the last movie that we've gotten, and it just was really forgettable, right? Forgettable. I mean, for some reason they brought back Palpatine. They made Rey his granddaughter, but at the very end she calls herself Rey Skywalker, and I just don't buy that shit. I feel bad for J.J. Abrams because he tried his best to fix what Rian Johnson completely fucked up. So I'm not hurrying to watch that movie anytime soon. Number 8, we have Return of the Jedi. Fine movie. It was a lot of fun. The last 15 minutes of it with the Ewoks celebrating, it's weird. And the weird music they got, it's definitely the worst of the three original trilogy movies, that being Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. To be honest with you guys, I just watched the original trilogy within the last calendar year. That's how new I am kind of to the Star Wars lore. But I've watched them now a couple of times because I was curious and I liked some of them. But Return of the Jedi is just not one of my favorites, and I won't be going to rewatch that one. Number 7 is The Force Awakens. Okay, the third and final one of the sequel trilogy, and what sucks is that movie was actually really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it when I first watched it. But because of what I know now, I'm not going to go back and rewatch The Force Awakens anytime soon. Because number 7 and number 8 were so bad. Because number 8 and number 9 were so bad, I'm not going to go back and watch number 7. So The Force Awakens is just really low on my list. And number 6 is going to be the original Star Wars, which basically The Force Awakens pretty much shot for shot rips off. There are some things in the original Star Wars I don't really like. But I got to remember, I had to put myself in the mindset, this came out in the late 70s. Okay, the technology and the wherewithal that George Lucas had to be able to produce and create this world is honestly, phenomenal. The score that they have, Luke looking at the two suns, and it was that part that, like, theatrically, it was a beautiful film, and especially for the late 70s, quite a marvel. But still not one of my favorites. But I did enjoy watching it the couple times that I've watched this last year. Number 5 is going to be Attack of the Clones. Okay, I know everyone used to shit on the prequel trilogy. But after watching the sequel trilogy and how much of a train wreck that was, the prequel trilogy, which I grew up watching because I was born in 93, those came out, I think, 99, 2002, and 2005. Those, they're a lot better than I remember. Especially, I rewatched all of them last year, during the pandemic when we were really locked down. And I have a newfound respect and love for those movies. And Attack of the Clones had some really good moments. It had some bad moments, this one being, I hate sand. It's coarse and irritating, and it gets everywhere. That's rough. That is a rough line. The dialogue in this movie is not great. And then you got Natalie Portman with that, I truly, deeply love you. And it's bad. It's campy, it's bad. But the action was fun. We saw Yoda fight. That was fun. We saw Count Dooku. That was fun. We see the origin of the clone army. That was cool. So Attack of the Clones has a lot of cool stuff. Number 4 for me is the Phantom Menace. Okay. The Phantom Menace as a kid was great, and I didn't really understand any of the things that were going on in terms of the diplomatic stuff because I was young. I was 6 years old when this came out. Those parts bored me, but I love the pod racing. One of my favorite games all time is the Racer Revenge on PS2. That game was amazing. I actually downloaded it as a game for my PS4, and I've played it a couple times. It's still just as fun. Like, it's still that much fun. I love every single second of it. But when I watched this last year, the Phantom Menace, the scenes where you talk and where there's dialogue and all that, I really enjoyed it. It really gave me a deeper understanding of this lore, of this world that's being built, and I don't think that I appreciated that when I first saw it, back in '99. And of course, this movie has the best Jedi, in my opinion, Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, probably the most just Jedi of all of them. He's fantastic, and my favorite villain, Darth Maul. Darth Maul, who's just a complete badass. It's got the best fight choreography of all 11 movies with, that Duel of the Fates soundtrack or song that's being played when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are facing off against Darth Maul. It's fantastic. So yeah, that's my number 4. Number 5 is Empire Strikes Back, okay? When I first watched Empire Strikes Back last year, yes, it's last year. I know I'm late to the party, but I typically am late to the party on these things. Empire Strikes Back amazed me. I loved it. The first, I think half of it, I was like, whatever. But the second half, the fight scene between Luke and Vader, you felt the weight of that. It was fantastic. I loved a lot of that, and I will definitely go back and rewatch that pretty frequently because thematically, the movie was beautiful. Shot great. I really enjoyed that one. Number 2 for me is Revenge of the Sith. Okay? Revenge of the Sith is basically how Anakin becomes Darth Vader. You have Execute Order 66. You have an aged Obi-Wan Kenobi who's just, probably the best Jedi out there right now. You see the birth of Darth Sidious. All kinds of amazing things happen in this movie. And of course, you get that dialogue between Obi-Wan and Anakin at the very end where he's like, you were supposed to be the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. It's great. That whole scene. And then Anakin just goes, I hate you. I love that movie so much. I rewatch it. I quote it all the time. Revenge of the Sith is great. And for me, it's my number 2. My number 1 movie is a movie that's a one-off, but it fixes the most glaring hole in the original trilogy, which is that there was a hole in the Death Star. Rogue One. When I saw Rogue One for the first time, I was halfway through this movie. I was like, man, I'm really loving this. I'm loving Donnie Yen's character. The whole time he goes, I'm one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me. That all the characters are great. It has the best robot in K2SO, I think his name is, voiced by Alan Tudyk. Also the pirate from Dodgeball. Yeah, that guy. But halfway through this movie, I was like, they're all gonna die because nobody survives this. And then they got the plans for the Death Star and they're able to get it there. But the cream of the crop, the reason why this movie went up a level for me was that final scene with Darth Vader mauling through some folks, killing some dudes, using the Force with his lightsaber, trying to get after those plans before they're given to Princess Leia, and she, and then basically the events of the original Star Wars movie come to fruition. It was fun. If you haven't seen Rogue One, I highly recommend it. It's my number 1 movie in the Star Wars saga. But yeah, guys, that's my list. If you like the list, if you have any tweaks that you'd want to add, comment below on Instagram right here. And as always, thank you for listening.